So Nigel, disappointment against the Dragons, or were you quite pleased in the overall performance?
Well, disappointed that we lost because we go to win every game, but very pleased and proud of the way that the players that we put together acquitted themselves. They had 3 sessions as a team before going up to what is a very difficult place to go against a strong Dragon side, and really for 50-60 minutes we had them worried, I think. But they had a little bit more experience than us in the end, and that probably told. But very pleased with the performance of a lot of our boys, and it goes to show, that the guys playing in the semi-pro stepped up really well. Very pleased with the second rows and the back rows and the way they went. Overall, it was a good exercise for us, and part of the reason for doing that was that to give those players that development, but part of the reason also was to protect some of our other players for our main priority this year, which is the Magnus League.
Obviously, we're carrying a lot of injuries, which is why you had to bring quite a few players in from the RFC. How's that situation going now? Is it improving? You've got some players coming back now for these next Magnus games?
We have, yes. We got quite a few players coming back now for the Magnus League game. As I said, a couple of them had been protected over the last couple of games, and a couple of them had been rehabbed during that period as well. So I'm very pleased with the strength of the side we're going to be able to put out against Connacht on Saturday.
So players like Regan King, Johnny Edwards, are they looking like they're going to be available for selection, or are we going to be doing some late fitness tests?
No, they'll be available. Johnny F is another that's available. Ben Morgan will be available. We've got Justin, Emmett Phillips, Lou Reed. There's a good mix of players available for us now.
The next 4 games, all Magnus League, Connacht away, and then 2 home fixtures, Ulster and Edinburgh, and then it's Leinster as well. Big games for you, considering there's only kind of 5 points between those teams at the top of the Magnus League. How crucial are they for you?
This is a critical period in our season now. We've done well to get to where we are in second spot. That's where we want to stay. The next 3 games in particular, Connacht away, and the 2 home games against Ulster and Edinburgh, are absolutely critical for our own ambitions this year. And we need to build momentum in Connacht and then keep that momentum into the home game. So we know what we've got to do. Connacht is not an easy place to go to. We've got to take the right frame of mind there. It's going to be tough. It's a horrible place to go to. It's dirty, it's muddy, and we've got to get that mentality going up across there. Our forwards are going to have to play a big part in this performance against them. But we're going to be more than capable of doing that, and it's so important this next game that we can get a result and we can build momentum, but it's not going to be easy. If we do that, then it'll put us in good stead for the next 2 matches. As I said, it's a huge month for us, and if we can get a lot out of this month, it'll go a long way to really deciding whether we can get a playoff place or not.
Obviously, Magnus League form has been really good this season. I think it's 1 defeat in the last 5 Magnus games. One of those was up in Edinburgh. How much will you take out of that, winning up there for the first time in 7 years? Mentally, obviously, going to Connacht, difficult place, as you say. But how much of a sort of positive is that, looking back?
I think it's extremely important. We've gone to the Dragons and won in the league. We've gone to the Blues and won, and we've gone to Edinburgh. 3 places traditionally very difficult to go to, and we know that Connacht is no different. Nobody enjoys going to Connacht, but we're trying to flip that and get this team to look forward to going there to the challenge that will present itself. Knowing that for the first time in a number of years we're second in the league, we've got everything to play for against a side who's bottom of the league, who will be very competitive, very committed, and will want to really get an upset. But we've got everything to play for now. It's not as if we're a mid to bottom side team at this moment in time. We're at the top. We want to stay at the top, so we've got everything to play for.
Just a quick word on the Wales selection. Rhys Priestland on the bench, Josh Turnbull, 2 of the players that have come through this system 18 months ago, had a lot to learn, and now kind of sitting on the bench for Wales. And your reflections on the selection?
Yeah, very pleased again for Rhys and particularly now for Josh, who gets his first opportunity to be involved in the Six Nations. Both boys have worked extremely hard. And it's good to see Tavis back on the bench as well. So it's great from our perspective, and it helps justify, I suppose, some of the stuff that we've done over the last 18 months or so.
Just a quick word on George North. Obviously, a lot of talk about him coming back. Is he back into full training with the Scarlets at the moment, or when are you hoping he'll be back? He's
started to take a bit part in training this week. He's doing some of the skills. He's not getting involved in contact, but it's just great to see him back on the park. A player of that quality just adds so much to the whole environment. And this week it's been good to have not only George back, but likes of Regan, likes of Gareth Moore, Lou Reed, Justin Thomas. They just bring a little bit more to the training environment, their experience, their communication, their talk, and the whole thing gets lifted up. So it's been really good to have those guys back, and particularly George, having been out for some time now. And George is very eager to play, but we have to be very mindful that we don't mismanage that injury, so that when he does come back, he's in absolutely the right physical condition, and also he's able to play to the potential that he can play.
That's quite important, isn't it, with a young player, 18 years old, obviously went into the autumn series, managing that injury time. He's been 9 weeks out. Obviously he's keen to get back. How important is it the medical team really do keep a close eye on him now as he comes back into this?
It's critically important, and George will come off the back of playing some great rugby. And you can't always start where you finish after an injury, unfortunately. So it's not only the injury management, but it's his game time management as well, and how we introduce him back into the rugby environment, because he hasn't got many miles on the clock in terms of his rugby experience at this level, although he's made a significant impact in the short space that he has. But for us or anyone to throw him in at the deep end would be absolutely the wrong thing for George.
Okay, so is there a possibility he could appear in one of the Magnus home games coming up, Edinburgh, for example, on the 24th?
Yeah, we're targeting him for the Edinburgh game, and that's realistic at this moment in time. But we started to reintroduce him into the rugby this week. He needs to build that up. He needs to experience a bit of contact over the next couple of weeks, so that we're comfortable and he's comfortable that he can try and hit the ground running when he does start.
So a lot of talk about the 10 jersey for Wales, and Steve obviously is on the bench for this game. What are your reflections really on him as a player? First of all, he's used to chopping change. Probably mentally he can deal with it. What are your sort of thoughts on that selection or that change?
Yeah, there's always reasons for why selections are made. We don't actually know what those reasons are. It may well be that they want to look at their options moving forward, particularly to the World Cup, because they have to know who's going to slot in there. So that may well be the reason for this. But to have Steve on the bench, his experience, his ability is fabulous. From my own experience, Steve generally makes a major impact off the bench, because he's able to watch a game, he's able to understand what's going on, and then when he does come on, he's got a good record of impacting games from that. So that may be another reason why they've looked to start in there.